Hi, it's been a while since I've done a video, and the Lord wanted me to come on and do this. I started hearing the word transition, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's people going through transition. They're moving from one job to another, to this, to that. There's all kinds of transition going on. And he said, no, 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 you're missing the word that I'm talking about. He said, I'm talking about the type of transition that a woman goes through just before giving birth. And I went, oh, okay. He said, the Bible talks about that in the last days you're going to hear wars, rumors of wars, but don't be afraid. These are just the birth pangs. He talks about birth pangs. And then he talked about, to me, this transition. And he said, it's not just America, it's global. He said, there's a global transition, that there is a giving birth. And you can look around and see. But he said, there's two lines, there's two things. It's like two women side by side giving birth. And one of the things that's being birthed is a great awakening. It's like people's eyes are open and they're like, oh my gosh. And they're turning to Christ in the hundreds and the thousands all over the world. All over the world. Eyes are open and they're coming to Christ, and it's a great awakening. But at the same time, there's also a birth of a great deception. And you can see this. So it's like you have the light and the dark that are side by side. And last year, right around December, I said, well, God, what's going to go on in 2025? Now, sometimes he'll give me a word for the year. Sometimes it's for that year, but it's then for years down the road. So I never quite know what year it's going to be for. But he said to me, 2025 is going to be a year of chaos, of darkness, and of accusation. And I went, well, that's lovely. And he said, no, you don't understand. He said, if you go into Genesis, he said, it talks about chaos, the earth being formless and void. Those words mean chaos. And it talks about the darkness. And then there was an accusation. And he said, I take and I bring order to chaos. Sometimes it's not pretty, but I bring order to chaos. He said, I light up the darkness. I bring light to the darkness. And I vindicate those who have been accused. And I'm bringing that. I'm bringing order. I'm bringing light, and I'm bringing vindication. But at the same time, there's chaos, darkness, and accusation. Just like in the transition, you've got light, you've got the gospel, you've got people, the great awakening, and then you have the great deception. So now you might say, well, how do I stay out of deception? How do I know what's what? How do I know what's light, what's dark, what's deception? The first thing you need to know is the Word. Get into the Word. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. So when you come to Jesus, when you have Jesus there with you, he will show you truth. He is the truth. And he will show you. The word also says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So the first thing is go to Jesus and say, Jesus, your word says that you are the truth, and I am going to believe your word. Get in the word. Get in the word. Get close to Jesus. Trust him, and he will deliver you, and he will help you. He will give you that little thing that says, oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. If it's against the word of God, if you don't see it in the word, back away. Back away. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you're listening to. And then, I've heard some things that they're like, so I watched the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and I watched all these politicians literally preaching the gospel. And I know that some Christians got a little upset. Well, they're politicians and they're not, whatever, and they're complaining. But, Paul said, it was in Philippians, and he said, look, there's these people that are preaching the gospel out of envy And, you know, basically they're kind of coming against me, but they're still preaching the gospel. And then I'm trying to preach the gospel out of goodwill. But in the very end, here's what he said. He said, "What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice." Can we rejoice that Christ was proclaimed? Can we rejoice in that? That we need to realize that God is bringing light into places, and maybe with some people you might not like, you might go, oh, that, you know, but go to the Lord, go to the Lord, and go to the Word. And so that's kind of what I'm sensing, and that, you know, this transition, the Great Awakening, and then Great Deception. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived, you know. And so that's kind of what I have. So anyway, God bless and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.